Alright, so you've seen a lot of videos, some of them from me, about signaling and signaling devices, flashlights, and so on. We're going to go into something a little different that, while not always essential, possibly worth having in your kit. And that's flares. I'm Dean, and this is the Alberta Bushcrafter channel. Alright, sorry to disappoint everybody right now, but the first thing I'm going to let you know is, no, I'm not going to fire off any of these flares. They are considered unregulated firearms in Canada, as far as I'm aware. So I don't want to do that right now. Besides, these little buggers are expensive. So when I first started out, I was about 18 years old, I actually had a small pen flare launcher. It was an Irma, which is German issue, and that's actually still in here. But you can actually get all different sorts of flare launchers. What you want to do, though, is compare that with replacement flares, because flares now come in two types. That's rim fire and center fire. So before you go start buying flares like this, check and see, find a place that's got a good deal and then find out if it's center fire or rim fire. They do have some dual purpose launchers, and those are really worth getting because they'll use anything. But this is actually my old flare kit, in addition to my new one. Now the case I picked up for 10 bucks, or 11 bucks at Campers Village in Edmonton. It's a Star Blazer case. I actually had one of my own made from PVC from an old raincoat, but eventually it fell apart. But here's generally what you're going to have. You're going to have a flare launcher. And it is 2 degrees. Not a bad idea. You can carry one of these on your belt or in your pocket. Always leave it in uncocked position. And you can actually see there's a couple of notches here. One of them is safe, so that won't fire it. This is the Irma, by the way. This is my original one. And then to draw back, you'd actually pull this lever all the way down. You can set it. Then you just flick it and boom. So generally, when I first started out with this, they had several different types of flares. They actually had white, they had green, they had orange smoke, and of course they had red. And then they had another one called the Bear Banger. Well, this one actually contains 6 red flares. The case actually has room for 12 flares. 6 long ones like Bear Bangers or Star, and 6 shorter ones for the red ones. Now I can no longer find the green or the white flares, but what you'll often get, this is actually a white, it's more of a comet flare. It's actually 3 big red flares, like a Roman candle, really. You'll find those. It's good to have a couple of those in there, unless you're in heavy bear country. Also get, this is actually one of the older ones. You can see the orange end on that. This is an orange smoke flare. You've seen the red one. I've got 2 different types of red flare here. Just one is a little older than the other. Check the expiry dates on your flares too. So the gray one in the old style is actually a Bear Banger. And those are good. The way to do those is you actually want to practice. You aim it between yourself and the bear, somewhere on the ground in front of the bear, and you let her rip, and theoretically it should scare the bear off. I've actually read from Cliff Jacobson's Camping's Top Secrets that a tack light will do it as well. And what was interesting is the tack light he was describing was 250, maybe a little more lumens. You can now get 1,000 lumen flashlights for a lot less than, say, the 100, 200 bucks for a through night. You guys see my Phoenix, so you can get all sorts of lights for that. So apparently tactical lights may work also on bears. But again, the weight of this, some people won't like it. It's about half a pound. But as you can see, folds up into a nice little package. Velcro on the sides. Is it waterproof? No. The flares are quite water resistant though. Just make sure you dry them off. But the nice thing is, bright yellow package. It's actually got some loops on the back, good for your belt, but I found I can actually sort of attach these to molly webbing as well. Now, one of the nice things is, these fold right up. You're carrying 12 flares. I actually throw a couple of small ones in the bottom as well, so I'm carrying an extra 2. I really would like to find, actually I'll do that the other way. I really would like to find a supplier for the white and green flares, just because, nice to have. But again, a little case like this will, Velcro's up the side, not waterproof. The flares themselves are pretty water resistant, especially if you keep that little cap on the end. And go with a couple of extras, like so, and there you go. There is another one from, I believe it's Kodiak, that makes a bright yellow Pelican case or Pelican style case with a clip on the outside for the flare gun, well, the flare pen, and with a lot of capacity inside. But I think it only holds 6 or 9, depending on what size you've got. So this will actually hold 12 and a bit. And I don't mind this at all. I kind of like this one a little better because it's easier to get at. You're not fumbling with clasps. You just rip it open and away you go. So especially if you're in bear country, this is a good idea. Now another thing. I've done is I got looking at those Kodiak cases, and they would not fit my existing flare launcher, and I didn't want to go pay 50 or 55 bucks for an entire kit. So actually I've got a number of different flares over the past couple of years. This is a Pelican 1015 case. I've noticed it will not hold the launcher with all these other flares in it. I'll take a few out and it'd be okay. But this is actually my backup for, well, it's kind of the refill case. That's what I use it for. I mean, it could work. But as you can see, I've got a number of flares in here. That's, I've got a couple more orange smoke, about 9 red flares, a couple of, I got a couple of Comet flares, the big ones, and I've also got another 4 or 5 bear bangers. So this will go in my canoe bag. This goes just right in one of the pockets. I have a bag that I carry with most of my canoeing gear. This just sits in the pocket. It's good for refills and stuff. Plus it's a floating bag, and it's usually lashed to the canoe. So what'll happen is it will, this will stay with it. I am toying with getting another flare launcher, maybe even whatever, food saver, the darn thing, and then attach this with Ranger bands. You may hear that noise. That's the geese traveling south. Always a fun time of year. But another idea, plus it's got lashing points. You can actually lash it on a strap or something like that. Little hole for a carabiner. But these, one of the things to watch out about Pelican cases is take very, very good care. That's, by the way, not Goose. That's the dog next door you might be hearing. Yeah. Always check the seals on these. A little bit of alcohol and water, or water, rubbing alcohol on a swab once in a while, because even the slightest speck of dust will ruin the waterproof capability of these cases. Just a thought. So that's just a basic primer. I'm sorry I didn't get to fire any off for you guys, but it's a basic primer on a nice little bit of safety gear, especially really deep in the backcountry. You may need to signal or something, or if you're canoeing. This is just your basic flare kit. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. My name's Dean. Thanks for watching the Alberta Bushcrafter channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And take care, and good day.